Welcome, welcome, my friend. Thank you for your interest in this course, Explore Your Spirit World. And so you may have experience with doing this thing called exploring your spirit world, or maybe not. Either way, I think that the way that I have come to explore my spirit world and sit with many other people over the last 20 plus years as they explore their spirit world, there might be some new ways or insights or approaches for you to explore your spirit world. So there's some traditions that tell you exactly how to do it and what is where and how it all works. And I honor that. If you want to learn a particular cultural way about exploring your spirit world or the spirit world, then they are out there. I created this course, which consists of over 7 hours of audio workshops and individual journeys about multiple aspects of journeying, which I'll touch on in a second, as well as exploring the realms of reality on purpose, which is what we might call journeying in these realms that we might call our spirit world. There's a lot of words that could be used to describe it. Okay, not the non-physical realms, other dimensions, dreaming world. There's lots of words, and I hope that there's more over time. But for this course, we will generally use the phrase spirit world. But as always with me, if you prefer a different phrase or word, please use it. I don't ever try to tell people what their truth is or the only way something is to be done. These are more of prompts, ideas, suggestions for you to do your own inquiry and to learn about it yourself. So this is not so much of a reading experience, it's a doing experience. And how we do this is that each lesson has one or two audio files. Some are workshops, which are longer, maybe more like an hour, and they include two drummings by me. They're all recorded with people in the room, but you don't hear them. I'm speaking to you, whoever it is that's listening. A few of the journeys, the shorter ones with one drum, I recorded on my own, so there weren't people there. But the workshops, there were people there and we're doing it live. But I am talking to you. So don't worry if you have no experience journeying. It is a natural experience. There may be some things you need to unlearn or learn differently about the way reality works, and that's okay. There's a lot of time for that in this course, as well as the other courses that I offer that you could find at weboflifeanimus.com. Okay, so to start, for anyone who is new to journeying, I did include a workshop, an intro to journeying workshop, if that's what you need. If you do have some experience, it might still be interesting to listen and do the journeys to hear how I talk about them. And then there's another workshop about enhancing your journeying ability, because that is what we do when we explore our spirit world, right? We tune in, we meditate to sound. There's lots of ways to describe it. Then we start diving into different aspects of very consistent elements worldwide with animist people about how they describe the non-physical world, or worlds, I guess you could say as well. So a few of, or the rest of the lessons here I have written down. So one is about the idea of the world tree. That's very consistent. The roots go down into the lower world, the trunk is in the middle world, and the branches go up to the upper world. So that symbolism shows up again and again. This workshop is about your world tree. It can be whatever you want or whatever is presented to you, not like what other people say your world tree is. Also, the idea of three worlds, lower, middle, upper. shows up again and again, including in Christianity, right? Except there's no judgment about good and bad. It's just different realms that we could learn more about and what might be in these different realms for us. And that's something to remember, is that journeying is a need-based system. And so we do it when we need some answers, when we need some insight, when there's something we can't figure out in the everyday waking mind. That's when we consult our allies and our ancestors and the living world through this process that's transinduction, right? That the drumming and the sound starts to work on our brain waves, drops them down more closely to where they are when we dream at night. And so a different type of brain functioning wakes up, I suppose you could say. And so you could think yourself places, you could change your size, you could talk to beings you can't talk to, or presumably you can't hear. So the possibilities really become endless. It is truly amazing. Whether you have blowout, like, wow, journey experiences, very visionary, or maybe it is subtle and you have memories or thoughts kind of float through, and then it goes to a quiet. Maybe you have images, or any of your senses can be utilized during this process. So it really is fascinating, and it is a practice. So the more that you practice and unlearn some things that you've been taught about what is real and what is not, what is good, what is not, your experience can become so much more rich and fulfilling. All right, so then there's also an idea about mapping your spirit world, elements or places or beings or traveling routes. There's lots of aspects to this that you can then help yourself remember by writing it down, either writing it or also drawing a map. And so that is what that workshop is about. And if you think about it, any cultural way has their cosmology already mapped out, right? So you might not already, and that's okay. You can still figure it out as you go. So I also mentioned the lower, middle, upper world. So there's previously about the three worlds generally, and then we go more deeply into the lower world or underworld, as well as the upper world, and a little bit less in the middle world because that has its own way. That's where we most of the time hang out, right? And but the underworld, the upper world, these are ways that we can go. We can go down, we can go up into these other realms while we are listening to drumming or other activating repetitive sound. It's amazing. And then finally, about the four directions. We could think of a compass, and there's four major directions, right? And then there's the in-between. And you, in your realm, in your inner world, your spirit world, there might be some things you could figure out about, well, what is in the four directions for you? What does the east and the west and the north and the south hold for you? What do they want to teach you? These are all parts or pieces of your reclaiming of your relationship with your spirit world. Now, depending on your ancestry, there are cultural ways that you could also learn about what different branches of your cultural tree, what do they say back in the day when they still actively worked with such things? What did they say about the underworld and the upper world? You might resonate with what they say, you might not. But we all have the right now to listen for ourselves, because most of us are a blend of multiple cultures, and to see what holds value and truth for us at this point in our evolution as a human being, and that the evolutionary process of humans can be assisted by us reclaiming a huge part of what was denied to us, taken from us because of monotheism and patriarchy. So enjoy. I hope you go through with trying this course out. It is fascinating, and you could listen to it again and again over the years, and it will bring you more. I promise. And so I'll see you in the course if you decide to partake. If not, there's other courses. And maybe you want to start with another course. There's the Intro to Animism and Journeying, something like that. Whatever you want, it all works. Many blessings to you.